Now when it comes to Drake, things are spiraling in ways nobody saw coming. Our boy Drizzy just got caught up in the courtroom, and the reason why is making jaws drop. His fans are about to lose it when they hear the truth, and you already know some of them will do everything they can to silence anybody exposing what just went down. This ain't just gossip, this is reality hitting harder than ever. After what we've all witnessed, Meet the Grams suddenly sounds more real than anybody thought, and Kendrick might have been spot on about Drake's hidden family. This whole law circus keeps spinning out of control, and every second that passes makes it look worse for him. And get this, word is that Drake got slapped with a paternity test right there in court. That's the kind of headline that changes everything, because now we're not just talking about rap beefs or subliminal dices, we're talking about his entire image crashing down in front of the world. The way Drake is getting exposed right now feels impossible to brush off. Fans can argue, defenders can spin, but the receipts keep piling up. In this era where beef ain't just about bars, but about truth versus lies, reality versus delusion, Drake looks more cornered than ever. What we're finding out now is wild. Drake has never been caught lying this much in his entire career. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar has been standing tall, reminding everyone in his interview with DJ Head that every single bar in his diss tracks was 100% facts. At first, people thought that sounded too extreme to be true, but look around. Everything falling into place makes Kendrick look like he's reading from a crystal ball. His disses are aging like prophecy, and every line is hitting harder than ever. Now stack that up against Drake, who can't even back up half a line from his own dices. Instead of proof, he's out here looking like a Jerry Springer knockoff, chasing paternity tests and legal paperwork just to make some noise. That's not rap dominance, that's desperation on display. And here's where it gets ugly for Drizzy. This whole quest for a test has turned the spotlight right back on him, forcing him to face how his own choices are coming back to haunt him. At this point, there's no spinning it. Drake is knee-deep in big trouble, and the walls are closing in fast. If you're ready to see just how bad Drake got exposed in court, smash that like button so everyone can see the truth, and so the diehard defenders can't bury it. And here's the kicker. All of this drama went down at the Toronto courthouse. The irony is insane. Kendrick Lamar once filmed music videos at his hometown courthouse, but Drake, he's being dragged into his for paternity tests and messy scandals tied to women. Now here's where it gets even wilder. This wasn't supposed to leak at all. There was a full-on effort to cover it up, to keep every detail locked away. But the reason we even know about it is because of one man, David Lewis Wall. This guy recorded everything he could, pieced together every clue, and built the full picture of what was happening inside those closed doors. On April 2nd, 2025, after weeks of watching this unfold, David dropped a video about Drake's secret trial, something nobody even knew was happening. In that clip, you don't just hear about it, you literally see Drake walking into the courthouse for the very first time. The look on his face says it all, pure disappointment, straight up frustration, like he knew the walls were closing in. And David didn't stop there. He explained how Drake's bodyguards swarmed the courthouse, making sure nobody got into the actual courtroom. That detail alone tells you how deep this goes, because if everything was clean, why keep it locked down so tight? Drake's empire is starting to look less like superstardom and more like a crumbling fortress. The fact that no media was allowed inside the courtroom, that's already a red flag. It screams like someone's hiding something massive, and it completely goes against what the courts are supposed to stand for: transparency and honesty. Even in Toronto, shutting out the press looks shady, and it instantly raises questions about what Drake is really trying to keep under wraps. The only visuals we've been able to see are courtroom sketches, and that's where things get crazy. One sketch shows Drake's bodyguard standing nearby, but the bombshell is the woman sitting across from him in court. And let me tell you, she looks nothing like Adonis's mom. She's known to be living in Houston and France, so the fact that this drama is unfolding in Toronto almost confirms this case is tied to someone else entirely. This isn't about the first scandal Pusha T exposed, it's something new, something even more unsettling. And here's what really shakes fans. The more clips and leaks surface about Drake's family court appearances, the clearer it becomes that he went above and beyond to bury this story. But thanks to David Lewis Wall, who kept showing up at the courthouse and recording every detail, the truth keeps slipping out. One of his biggest revelations dropped on March 27th when he laid out the logistics and ground rules of the case. That's where things took a weird turn, with details that don't just feel unusual. They feel like Drake is juggling secrets he can't afford to let out. At this point, the only real source we've got is David Lewis Wall, and that's telling, because if they weren't trying so hard to sweep this under the rug, we'd have way more answers. Based on his account, what's clear is that Drake was in family court with a woman we've never seen him with before. Nobody knows for sure who she is. Maybe a Stacy, maybe a Becky, but she's definitely not part of his public story. Now, Wall originally thought this might have been about divorce, but that theory got tossed quick. Drake isn't married, which leaves us with the bigger question. If it's not divorce, what is it? The fact that this played out in family court means it's either some kind of custody battle, a paternity situation, or another family-related dispute that could drag Drake's name through the mud, and whichever way you spin it, the optics are terrible. Think about it. Drake going back and forth with a woman in court, that's already messy. But if it's tied to a child or some type of hidden agreement, then it could be devastating for his image, especially since Kendrick already hit him with bars about hidden family secrets. The timeline makes it even more suspicious. This all happened around the same time Drake suddenly canceled his Anita Max Win tour, a move that left fans scratching their heads, and then he conveniently dropped that Nokia video right in the middle of it all. Looking at it now, the pattern is obvious. The only calls Drake was really answering during that period weren't from fans or friends, they were from his lawyers. Let's be real. If this situation forced Drake to cancel an entire tour out of nowhere, then whatever's going on has to be serious. Court dates don't just pop up that sudden unless something explosive is happening, and the fact that Drake dropped everything, flew back from Australia, and showed up in Toronto looking miserable says it all. He didn't want to be there, but he had no choice. Now here's the shady part. While this trial was peaking, Drake conveniently dropped the Nokia video, clearly trying to distract fans and bury the optics. But the timing couldn't be more suspicious. It looks like a cover-up, plain and simple. He wanted headlines about music, not about him running into family court under pressure. And when you zoom out, the possible outcomes are both damaging. Either Drake is hiding another child and trying to work out some kind of agreement quietly, exactly the kind of behavior Pusha T exposed years ago, or he's so deep in conflict with a woman that she had to drag him into court just to make her case heard. Both scenarios make him look bad, and neither can be brushed off with a song drop. And if Kendrick's accusations on Meet the Grams turn out to be true, that Drake really does have another hidden kid, then this is the biggest proof yet. If it gets confirmed, we're talking about a career-shaking moment. The image of Drake as a global superstar flips instantly into the image of a man hiding from his own responsibilities. Or maybe this is just another example of Drake showing his true colors when it comes to women, treating them wrong and proving once again that everything he raps about finding the right one is just a performance. The music paints him as a heartbroken lover, but reality keeps showing him as messy, toxic, and fake. And honestly, it lines up perfectly with how Kendrick Lamar called him out on Meet the Grams, painting him as a shameful man who hides behind an image he can't live up to. Either way you look at it, Aubrey is losing big. He's been exposed worse than ever, and moving forward, he looks more cooked than we've ever seen him. If more details come out about this case, whether it's him getting dragged into court by a woman with heavy claims or him secretly trying to hide another child, it's game over for his reputation. Drake's sitting in that metaphorical hot seat, and fans are watching him like, take a seat right over there. His image keeps dropping to new lows, and the crazy part is, it still feels surreal that he could sink this far. Every update makes the situation uglier, every leak makes the excuses weaker, and every court appearance chips away at his carefully built persona. So now with all this hanging over him, what's your take on Drake's new courtroom mess? Is this proof of him being the ultimate courtroom Karen, whether he's calling others in or being forced to show up himself? Now here's where things take an even darker turn, because while Drake's fans are busy trying to spin this into nothing to see here, the reality is starting to look undeniable. Every time more details slip out, Drake's entire image takes another hit. And it's not just the courtroom setting that's haunting him. It's the fact that he's doing everything possible to cover it up, which only makes him look guiltier. Think about it. If this was something small, if it was harmless, why the sudden canceled tour? Why the tight security at the courthouse? Why the courtroom sketches instead of media access? It all screams damage control. Drake's trying to protect his brand, but the harder he fights to keep it hidden, the more obvious it becomes that this is something huge. And Kendrick's words keep ringing louder than ever. When he rapped about Drake being fake, hiding behind money, and keeping skeletons locked away, it sounded like bars. But now, it feels like a prophecy being fulfilled right in front of us. Drake isn't just battling Kendrick in music, he's battling the truth in real life. And right now, truth is winning. And the craziest part about all this? Drake's own moves are making him look worse. Instead of facing the situation head-on, he keeps trying to distract with music videos, cryptic posts, and PR tricks, but none of that can cover what's happening inside that courtroom. The more he runs from it, the more fans start to question if Kendrick was right all along. Maybe Drake really is the fraud people are saying he is. Behind closed doors, you've got his bodyguards shutting down access, reporters locked out, and only sketch artists giving us glimpses of what's really happening. That's not how a superstar who's clean operates. That's how someone acts when they're desperate to hide the truth. And here's the real kicker. Drake built his whole career on being relatable, the guy who pours his heart into songs. But this situation, it's showing the complete opposite. He's not vulnerable. He's not open. He's calculated, secretive, and scrambling. It's like watching The Mask slip in real time, and fans are finally starting to see the man behind the music, and they don't like what they see. And what makes this even wilder is how obvious the PR spin has become. Drake keeps moving like he can distract the world with a flashy rollout or a quick single, but fans aren't blind anymore. Every surprise drop looks less like artistry and more like a smokescreen to hide the fact that he's spending his real time in family court. The timing isn't coincidence, it's strategy, and a desperate one at that. Meanwhile, Kendrick doesn't even have to lift a finger. His bars from Meet the Grams are aging better every day, and the streets are treating him like a prophet who called this downfall shot for shot. Drake scrambling to cover up scandals only makes Kendrick's verses hit harder, like he wrote the script for Aubrey's collapse before it even happened. The bottom line, Drake is playing defense on all fronts, career, image, and personal life, and it's showing cracks everywhere. For a man who once looked untouchable, this is the clearest proof yet that the empire is wobbling and no rollout can patch it up. You know what to do. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video so the truth keeps spreading. I appreciate all the support. It really means everything. And now, if you thought this courtroom drama was wild, wait until you see how Drake just reacted when his own label hinted at exposing even more issues. Ones he absolutely did not handle well at all. Trust me, you don't want to miss this next one because it shows just how badly Aubrey is spiraling right now. See you on the next one.